So here we have this VEVOR wooden kids play kitchen. Now, full disclosure, this is a paid review, but the opinions in this video are my own. Alright, and there's everything that came with it. There's quite a few pieces here, and it also comes with this cardboard box here with a bunch of screws and the tools to put it together, as well as a bunch of other smaller pieces. And all these pieces are just made out of a hardboard with a nice smooth laminate on top. And all these pieces have little sticker numbers on them, which is really going to help in the assembly. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and then I'll give you a quick review. Alright, and there we go. I just finished putting it together. It took just over an hour. I wouldn't say it was an easy build, but these instructions, as well as this packet of hardware that labels all the parts, made it just a bit simpler. It's actually pretty solid and has a lot of cool little parts to it. It has a bunch of these different fruits and veggies that you can play around with. You can take one of the knives it comes with and chop them in half. And here's what that looks like. They're just stuck together with these Velcro pads, and they're just made of plastic, pretty simple. There's also a pot and a pan with a lid, and then a plate with some different silverware on it, and they're all made of plastic. There's also a small basket, as well as a bowl and a couple cups. And then there's some different metal cooking utensils over here. As to the actual build, it looks pretty cool. There's some different boards with printing on them. There's a microwave up here. It opens up. Then when you close it, it kind of locks in place. It has a thin plastic screen on it, and then this little printed control pad here. Then right under that's a little coffee station. It has a small tabletop, and on top of that are these two burners. They have a small button on them, so if you set a pan on top, it'll light up for a few seconds and make some noise. And then moving over to the right, there's a small sink. It's got a faucet and some different knobs. Then over here, there's 3 knobs to control the burners. They make a little clicking noise. Under that, there's a little oven you can play around with. The door opens. Then over here is the dishwasher. It's got a shelf in there. Then on the left side, I think, is a fridge with this ice cube dispenser. And it's pretty cool. It actually works. It gives you some blocks of ice here. You can just load those back in the back. And then just some empty storage space. So yeah, overall, this little kitchen set's nice and sturdy. It's got lots of cool little items and play features, but there are a couple things that you should be aware of, so let me go ahead and point those out. First of all, these fruit and veggies are pretty cheap, and it's probably just a defect, but this little watermelon here came broken, and you can see what the inside there looks like. It's just a plastic shell with this printed piece that's stuck to it. Easy fix with some super glue, but like I said, they are pretty cheaply made. And the other thing that's also important to know is pretty much all these pieces that make up the build are made of a hardboard covered in laminate, which is waterproof, so if you spill a bit of water on here, it's not going to be a big deal. But some of the ends of the boards don't have laminate on it. You can see that on the bottom here. And if water does get onto it, then the pieces are going to start to swell up. So I wouldn't recommend you let your kids use water around this, or they just have to be really careful, because it's possible that if they make too big of a mess, it'll ruin some of the pieces. Overall though, it's definitely a fun little kitchen build, and definitely a cool little play set for kids.